In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to a show called Hate. This is like a show called Hate Nights.
This is like a
It's
more
more
subdued
relaxed.
version. We're in a different recording environment.
I know. The cat's away. The rats have come out
Nick's
to
the
play.
cat, is he?
Nick is the cat in
Oh,
this
and we're-
analogy. Yeah.
We're the mice. Or
yeah,
rats.
Or the rats, I suppose.
Either's fine. Or very insulting, either one.
I saw a rat the other day.
Did you?
A wild
You're never
rat.
more than 4 foot away from a rat.
They do say that.
There you go.
And here he is right now.
Here he is.
Sharing a couch
Here
with
we
us.
both are, 4
Old
foot
Ray.
away from one another.
No, we were walking into town and I saw a mom and her young child.
Oh, sure.
And the child was going, "Mommy, it's a mouse." And she's like, "Yes, dear, just leave it alone. It's just, what's it doing? Oh, it's just having a lie down. Don't worry
Oh,
about
it was
it."
dead.
No, but it was definitely dying.
Okay.
And it was a rat.
All right.
Because
Big mouse, innit?
a very big mouse.
Yeah. Sharper teeth.
I assume so.
I would imagine so.
Mice have pretty sharp.
Yeah. Smaller surface area.
I should make it worse. Hello and welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective.
You're getting very good at that.
You
Like,
know,
rolling it off now.
Well, thank you, because it occurred to me like, oh god, I don't have a script. I'm off a script. Anything
We're
could
off the-
happen.
Well, I, for once, have got a piece of paper.
It's astonishing, yeah.
Here it is.
I mean, I wish you'd just put some clothing on.
well, yeah,
instead,
I should write on it, really, shouldn't I?
but it'd be amazing. But I'm John.
I'm Chris.
I'm
Oh, we
Nick.
missed one.
Oh, where is he?
Oh, no. Oh, that's a shame.
This is almost like to lessen the blow for when you eventually head over to America, which
I'm
is
going-
coming up, isn't it?
Very soon.
Yeah.
3 weeks and a bit.
And we
So the countdown's officially on. We're officially talking about it every day now. Me and Liz, so that's nice.
I'm very excited for
So,
it.
yeah, it should be fun. We've got lots of plans, and yet not many plans.
And how long will you be gone for?
I'll be gone for 2 and a bit weeks.
Okay, and just to further invade your privacy,
Sure.
you're going to like the New York...
I'm going to New York, then New Jersey,
Jersey.
New Jersey, then
Jersey.
Seattle,
Oh.
then San Francisco.
Ooh.
So if you're tracking my movements, that's roughly where I'll be
I
from 21st of August onwards.
have to say, I am kind of jealous. That does
Right,
sound
it'll
amazing.
be good. I've not allowed myself to think about it until really this week. We're in the countdown now.
Aren't you staying with family? Some of Liz's
We're staying with
family or friends?
Liz's friends in New Jersey, and we're hanging out with her friends in Seattle, but staying in an Airbnb.
Very nice.
So it'd be fun, good fun.
When Lucy and I went to Canada back in 2014, we stayed with a couple of friends in Calgary, which I feel is the New Jersey of
Okay.
Canada. perhaps.
Well, I'm told that I'm just going to be drunk all the time in New Jersey.
I think you'd have to be.
So,
based on what
that's
little,
fine.
based on what little I know
So-
about New Jersey. New Jersey. So-
Apparently, I'm just going to turn up and drink for 3 days and then go to Seattle, which sounds fine to me.
it would. I expect a full report. I'd be very interested.
Oh, you'll get one.
Interested to know what American beer is actually like. If that makes sense.
Yes. Well, I've never been to America, nor done very many American things. So I'll probably come back a changed man, wear cowboy hats everywhere.
I've got to say, I think I'm most jealous about Seattle.
I am particularly excited about Seattle, actually. 'Cause it's sort of, for want of a better term, off the beaten track in terms of where tourists would go. Obviously, it will have tourists, but I've never spoken to anyone who's been to Seattle at length.
But you like Frasier, don't you?
I love
You
Frasier.
love Frasier.
Although Frasier, only one episode of Frasier was ever filmed in Seattle.
Was it an episode that was in some way relevant?
It was the 1,000th or something, or 100th, not 1,000th,
yeah.
100th. That episode was about his 1,000th show.
Oh,
That's
right.
why I'm getting confused.
Have you heard that they're talking about...
Rebooting Frasier.
Oh,
I did hear that.
yeah.
Well, rebooting...
It's a strong word.
It would be him in another city. So it's sort of a reboot.
Because it ended with him
It ended with him...
flying.
I think he went to Chicago. He was going to go
Yeah.
to San Francisco, and then he followed a woman to Chicago.
He did.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, I remember it. I think the cool thing about Seattle is that it's quite close to Canada, which is a stupid thing to say, because a lot of America is quite close to Canada. They do share a border.
They do share a border, yes.
But I've always, even though I've never been...
San Francisco's only... It's very close, isn't it, to Vancouver, San Francisco?
No, that's probably Seattle.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
San Francisco is very...
Because I know when
down.
Holton was in San Francisco,
Yeah.
in Vancouver, he visited San Francisco. Anyway.
No, it's probably Seattle.
It's not important. No, he went to Alcatraz. It's not important.
No, but he didn't... It wasn't like a jaunt. It was kind of... It wasn't
Oh,
like
I
a day
see.
trip.
Okay,
It was
I
like-
understand.
Yeah. They just flew on to San
I
Francisco.
see.
Yeah.
I should go to Canada.
You should do.
Yeah, I won't.
It's a nice place out here. But no, Seattle is like really trendy, really
Cool. Like me.
home of coffee, the fish market,
I'll go to the fish market.
Fish market
I
would be
like
cool.
fish.
a lot of big tech companies.
Well, we're basically being given a guided tour of Seattle by people who live there,
Oh, nice.
which will be nice. So Liz's friends,
yeah.
Liz has a friend who she used to work with in Cheltenham who moved to Seattle to marry a chap from Seattle, and they now have a baby.
Oh,
So there you go. Which is why we're not staying with them.
that is a shame. It does help to have like a local. I think like, even just having someone to show you around.
Oh, it'd be infinitely useful, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We don't really have to think about it too much.
Having a car helps a
Exactly,
lot as
yeah.
well. I have this idea that like whenever I'm on holiday, I feel like you're living like this weird holiday lifestyle where you're there but you're not really part of it in a weird way. Like you're
aware of the fact you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and you only ever see like hotels. You feel a bit like an outsider, and then
Yeah. I mean, I keep being told by Liz, who's been to America a few times, that I'll just get all the time, "Oh my God, you're from England." And I'm like, I said to her, don't they not see English people all the time in these places? Why would that be weird?
it is odd, isn't it? Like
It seems I just imagine in my head that they would speak to English people every day, but I'm probably wrong.
to some extent we got that in Canada. Like more than
Well, I was asked a lot in Canada where I was from, and I was
Yeah.
only there for 3 and a bit weeks.
Well, people didn't. I guess I don't know what they were expecting. Like whether they were expecting either a Cockney, you know, like
Someone who sounds like Prince Harry,
Yeah.
or someone who's like, "Oh, I needs that mother Bran."
because those are like the only two British accents you ever see on
Yeah,
American television.
Well, when American actors play English people,
Oh dear,
which is hideous,
that's a shame.
you know, the accents are terrible, generally speaking.
It is.
Particularly in Frasier. There's one where Daphne's
God.
ex-boyfriend turns up, and an American bloke plays an English gent, and his accent's god-awful.
But they're not even doing. That's like the really painful thing. If I remember, they're not even doing like an English accent. They're doing what they think is like. Isn't it like a Manchester accent or something like?
Yeah, that's the idea. But I think everyone tries to sort of copy Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. And I'm pretty sure Dick Van Dyke's on record as saying that was a terrible performance.
Yeah. No one came off well
So, you
from
know.
that, the proud Cockney heritage. But like I had when I was in Canada, I would have people saying, "Oh, where are you from? Like I love your accent. Are you?" And I had New Zealand, Aussie,
Yeah.
British.
It's
occasionally,
weird. It's weird that that's where their head would go.
German.
That's
one
weird,
point.
though, isn't
Yeah.
it? That someone's head would go to... Especially in America, I find it weird that someone's head would go to Australia and New Zealand before it would go to England.
I wonder if it's because we have a weird non-accent. I wonder because we're from like Gloucester.
But we don't have particularly West Country accents,
No, that's
you
the
and
problem,
I.
isn't it? Because
I'm always told that I sound like I'm from London or near London.
well, this is the thing.
People have said that to me.
because I feel it's because we have like a non-accent.
Yeah, we don't really have one,
Because
as far as I'm aware.
if you tell people you're from Gloucester,
Yeah.
everyone thinks like ooh-ar. But
Ooh-ar,
that's more
six
like
fingers.
that's more like a Somerset kind of accent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the further you get out into the Forest of Dean, that's probably true.
Yeah.
The URs and the what have yous, but
But growing up,
Gloucester's something and nothing in terms of
Yeah.
accents.
it's like I remember.
Same for Cheltenham.
I think when I was a kid, my mom used to say, because like the accent I'd picked up was like instead of bottle, I'd say like bottle.
Bottle. I'd probably say that without realising.
And I think it's not really like an accent or even like a dialect. You just tend to like mush stuff together sometimes, or maybe that's
the
just
only
me.
one where I sort of betray my roots is I say basket or something like I elongate the ah, whereas someone from London or towards the east will go basket.
I would like
a basket, please, a shopping basket.
I would like a woven container. Yeah, please.
Basket.
A car hole.
What do you call it? A car hole.
What's weird is that, because I mean, obviously you've known me pretty much my entire life, but
yes,
my mom is super Welsh.
Very Welsh.
Which
used to think in Welsh.
That is true. Yeah, I've told you that anecdote before.
It's a good one.
I guess I'll recount it for the podcast. But my mom, who is I guess Welsh was her first language. But she was saying she realised at some point, probably in her kind of mid-30s, thinking about it now, she realised her internal monologue had switched from
that must
Welsh
be weird,
to
mustn't
English.
it?
Yeah.
That must be so weird. To just start thinking in another language.
I do kind of forget. It's interesting. She says when she was working as a teacher, she said like she'd have pupils come up and say, "Oh, miss, can you? We're doing like a card or a charity thing. Can you write like a message in Welsh for us?" And she'd have to think.
Yeah,
had to really think.
Yeah.
Oh hell! Like what is that? I can't bring it to mind. But
mad, isn't it?
The reason I bring it up, but my dad has always jokingly said he's a plastic northerner, which is apparently he's from Chester.
Chester's, it's near Liverpool.
It's north.
It's sort of
but
near Liverpool.
I think it's pushing the limits of what you can call.
You
north.
wouldn't if you were reeling off quintessential northern towns. I don't think Chester would be one of them.
No, because I think like Chester they're called plastic northerners either because there's a lot of heavy industry around there, or it's a bit like faux.
That's what that's what I take plastic to mean. It's the same with football fans.
The credit card.
Football fans who turn up for the biggest game of the season are called plastic fans because they're not real fans, inverted commas.
But what's weird is that I realised a while ago how many odd little turns of phrase we had in our family. And when you trace them back, I'm like, oh,
that must be from...
That's like an oddly northern thing, or that's an odd kind of... It's only when you compare it with other people you go like, oh yeah, why do we say that? Like no one says that. It's like Lucy's gran is from, oh god, she'll kill me if she hears. I was going to say Newcastle, but is it Billingham? Is that near Newcastle? Does that ring a bell?
Possibly.
Because I feel like if I say she's a Geordie, she'll kill me.
Okay.
Like right now, her ears are pricking up, and you don't want to cross her. She's marching over here.
So. Really, the two biggest areas up there are Newcastle and Sunderland. And people from Newcastle
don't get them missed.
No. People from Newcastle are Geordies.
Yeah.
People from Sunderland are Mackhams.
No, I do remember that because at uni, I had a mate. I had two mates throughout uni who were broad Geordie. And I was a very sheltered lad. I'd never even had a Chinese cake at one before going.
It was a simpler time.
It was a simpler time, but. They were. I remember Chris Geordie explaining to me that about Mackhams and how he hated Sunderland. I remember he had a like a little Newcastle United,
very good,
Newcastle United Football Club, like fan brochure.
Oh sure,
and it was all about how. Well, I won't say it on a cultured podcast like this, but how the Mackhams were not good people.
I see.
And someone had printed this.
I assume what you're referring to is a fanzine.
A fanzine,
because I don't think the club would publish such material.
An informational pamphlet, which I found.
I'm pretty sure you must be referring to a fanzine.
Yeah, which is quite interesting. But yeah, it's weird.
What were we talking about?
Oh,
we're doing a show.
Yeah,
that's right.
Nick's not here, and we're talking about loves and hates. Do you have a love or a hate? Oh, hate. That's where
we normally start with hates. I will give you a hate, John, because you've asked so nicely. Yeah. Spitting. Now, this is a sort of lots of different things sort of go into this particular hate. Lately, when I walk into work, I've just noticed it a lot more. Maybe it's because I'm becoming more cantankerous, but I just hear a lot of, and I'll do it for you now.
Oh.
It's disgusting.
Oh,
It's so disgusting. People just spitting on the road, and it's like, what are you doing? You're just walking along. You don't need to do that.
It's a logical thing. Is if you're doing that, why not just walk down the road and wipe your ass? Like, isn't it?
That's
the
where
same?
we're going. That's where we're headed.
But isn't it the same?
That's
Like,
where we're headed.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just hear it every sound. It just makes my skin crawl whenever I see it. And the thing is, footballers do it, and people criticise footballers for doing it, and I agree.
Yeah.
That it looks horrible. But I've played my fair share of football matches, and your mouth gets so dry.
Yeah, it's
playing
like,
football.
When I used to run, you get like all the lactic acid kind of builds up in your mouth.
So I sympathise with footballers to an extent. It does look gross, but doing it on the street when you're just walking along, and I'm talking blokes in their 40s, their 50s, people who should know better.
Oh yeah,
I just don't understand the logic behind it of spitting on the street. People walk on that street. That's where you live. Why would you do that?
No,
I just don't get it at all.
No, you are.
And the sound of it is just, as I say, horrible.
It's like I can't. It's funny, isn't it? I guess it's like a gross out factor when to do with like bodily functions. Like it's horrible to see, but the sound.
It's
like,
the build up as much as the action.
Oh, God.
The action's disgusting.
We should put trigger warnings on this episode because it's hitting me.
Well, it's what I would call, or I used to call, a grenner.
Oh.
And what I mean by that is you've snorted so much that you've got bogey in your spit.
Oh, I can't believe we're having this comment. Oh, it's horrible.
Well, this is why it's on this show.
It's funny. It's like there's something.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, no, I do. It's like I acknowledge that everyone's mouth has saliva in it.
Absolutely.
That's how it is. It's in your mouth.
That's
Fine.
what
I don't even think about it. It's great.
we just drool 24/7 if that's what God intended.
But the moment, it's funny, isn't it? Because like I guess every time you swallow, I just swallowed then.
Yeah.
You're probably taking in a bit of saliva.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
I
Yeah.
don't have an issue with that. It's fine. Not gross. At
Man
all.
has survived this long doing that.
The moment saliva. Sorry, I bit my tongue while I was speaking. The moment saliva leaves your mouth, it's suddenly the most repugnant thing I can think of.
But it's as much what it means.
Yeah.
Because in what world are you thinking, I know what I'll do now. I'll spit on the floor or at something, or do you know what I mean? People spit at other people sometimes.
But I mean, like, there's a reason that is seen as such an insult. Like, I mean,
It's cowardly.
You bring up football.
It's happened in football, and
Yeah.
it is rank.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And there's a reason that's probably seen as one of like the worst insults you can do to someone. I mean, like, you think about it. There's cultures on the planet where showing the sole of your foot is incredibly insulting. I mean, you think how bad...
Well, my feet are buggered, so that would be quite insulting for me to do that.
What's wrong with your feet?
They're really like hard. They're crusty. I need to go see a chiropodist. Shall I show you? I'll show you.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
On an audio podcast.
So,
oh wow, it looks like a
not that long ago, I had to.
Like a King Edward potato.
Thank you. That's one of the nicer things it's been called. We had to cut off all the dead skin off my feet. I say me.
That was a bad time to take a drink.
And that's not that long ago, and it's back.
Oh god. Thing is,
Anyway, spitting.
Sidebar. Talk about feet. I am blessed in the foot department.
Oh, they're very nice, actually. Yeah, they look a bit like Hobbit feet, but bigger.
Yeah. I guess kind of long.
Yeah. Long toes.
Quite wide.
I've never really looked at your feet.
It's weird, isn't it? Because we have known each other quite a while.
We've never really spoken about feet.
It freaks Lucy out that I have completely prehensile toes and I can pick things up with them.
Oh, picking stuff up with your feet's great.
Oh, it's amazing.
I love doing that.
Live the dream. What are we talking
Feet
about?
are weird if you look at them, though. If you look at feet too long, you'll just lose your mind.
If you think about it a bit too hard,
you'll lose it.
What were we? Sorry, we were talking about
Spitting.
spit and gross things.
Everything's gross.
It's, you know, I was saying like how saliva in someone's mouth, don't care. See someone drooling a bit, I'm getting.
But it's a natural function. It's like don't shit on the floor.
Yeah, it's like but this is the thing. Like my brain is okay, and I fully acknowledge and accept, and I'm not grossed out by the idea that you've got shit in your ass and you've got saliva in your mouth. But the moment,
But I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. No, that's a very private, intimate thing. Keep it to yourself. It's like, and this is maybe the wrong analogy, but I used to live with a guy in second year of uni. We lived in a shared house. I won't name him. Let's just call him J. Whaley. No,
That's too obvious.
Jason W.
Oh, okay.
And
that's better.
he had a habit of making himself big bowls of cereal and leaving them around the house.
Yeah, if cereal goes gross.
Now I'll use milk as a comparison because it's like I don't drink a lot of it now, but I used to love milk. Oh, crisp.
Oh, a lovely
nice,
bit of milk.
Ice cold bottle
Good
of milk.
for your bones.
Oh, it's beautiful. Lots of vitamin C, you know.
Is there vitamin?
No.
Vitamin C's juice, isn't it?
Yeah. What goes in milk? D?
One of
vitamin
them.
D?
One of the vitamins.
M?
I don't know.
R. Enriched with vitamin R. Good for your bones. It's great.
Good for your bones, good for your teeth.
Lots of calcium. It's wonderful. The moment milk has been poured into, a delicious bowl of cereal.
Oh, yes.
Right,
Very good.
Still good. Still good. Little compromise. For me, personally, the moment that milk goes even slightly towards room temperature, I'm done.
Yeah, it's gone.
And there was nothing gross
too
to
late.
me. Coming around the house and finding empty, abandoned bowls of milk.
Yeah, that's gross.
So disgusting.
The thing is, it stinks.
Oh, it's horrible.
When it goes off milk, it stinks.
It's horrible.
But everyone's got that one thing that grosses them out.
Yeah.
I'm sure spitting is quite a popular
Oh.
one, but everyone's got sort of one thing that maybe is a bit unusual that grosses them out. Feel free to tell us about it on Facebook. That was good, wasn't it?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe to this podcast. No, but I'd be interested to know, because I've got a weird thing about the sound of anoraks.
Oh, that,
You know when anorak material rubs against itself?
That crinkle.
That just that just makes my skin crawl, that.
Are you familiar with ASMR?
Only because, and this is a genuine comment, you told me about it
Yeah.
not that long ago.
There must be like an anti-ASMR.
Like horrible sounds.
Well, yeah, or like an audiophobia or something like that. Like something that just makes you go like, ugh, can't
Yeah.
handle it. Anyway, you got a love letter or some hate
I
mail?
have. I've got some hate mail here
Oh,
from
who's that?
Ned,
Oh, Ned.
our friend Ned. He said, "Here's one.
Friend of the show.
Here's one. I hate the.
Ooh.
I hate the term low-hanging fruit. It's stupid and unnecessary unless it's used in ironic innuendo to refer to a ball punch. I'm not having it. I do. It's this whole business speak thing, isn't it? That falls into that category. I actually think low-hanging fruit's one of the less offensive ones. It's like
Yeah.
oh, we got to keep our powder dry, belt and braces, and it's what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's business speak, and it's just tell me what you want.
Also, low-hanging fruit, I guess, kind of means like an easy target.
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
it?
In my work, it's sort of we would go in the property section of a newspaper because we're looking to target home buyers.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's low hanging fruit because they are actively looking.
But that's not seen as a bad thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But low-hanging fruit is often used as a bad thing. It's like it's often like, oh, that's low-hanging fruit. You should aim higher.
I suppose it's either or. I would term it as a good thing because it's
Yeah.
an easy target in terms of those people are looking for houses. We're trying to sell houses. Let's market to them. Sorry, I just elbowed the wall.
Just to make your point.
That was accidental, but worked quite well, I thought.
Can I give you a hate?
I'd love for you to give me a hate.
I hate the practice of how best to describe this. I guess, Rev,
John,
you're out and about.
thank you.
Say,
Oh no, okay.
say you are thirsty.
Yeah,
Maybe you have a plastic bottle of water.
sure,
Great, that's
sure.
fine. What if? But that's disposable. That creates landfill waste. and
It
everything.
does.
What if you were a bit more prepared and you bought like a bottle from home?
Oh yeah.
Maybe like a little plastic.
I do. I've actually
Yeah.
saved a water bottle from recently, and it's now my water bottle. I
Okay.
didn't throw it out. It's now my water bottle. I put it in the fridge. I fill it up. I take it with me.
Wonderful.
So
Okay, so
Sorry,
yes.
go on.
But my point is, you have a little bottle.
Yeah,
That's
sure,
great. Yeah,
sure.
and that's it's good for the environment. Great.
Mm.
Now, what if instead of getting like going to Tesco, say, buying the £2 reusable
Robin
bottle,
bastards.
plastic bottle. It's
Yes,
great,
yes.
dishwasher proof. What if you'd gone to like an army surplus store and were like, you know what, I'm not going to arse around. I want a proper bottle.
Oh yeah.
And you buy some kind of stainless steel, chrome, decked out bottle.
What's the point?
Well, here's my thing. this is what I'm trying to articulate, and not in a very good way. It really annoys me when people go above and beyond in preparedness to the point where it's like they're in the army. You're not in the army, is what I'm trying to say. So the case would be, this would go like the same person who maybe carries a utility tool / knife.
Oh yeah,
at all times.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case. You never know.
Never know when I'm
You hear stories.
Never know when I'm going to have to use that little tool for getting a stone out of a horse's shoe.
What is on a penknife? So you've got the knife itself, a corkscrew. Just buy a corkscrew.
You used to have like 2 big knife, small knife, serrated, so a saw, little saw blade, scissors, if you're lucky.
Shit scissors.
You don't want to use them. Corkscrew.
Just buy a corkscrew.
What?
Why do you need to carry a corkscrew around with you?
Things as being prepared.
I carry a bottle opener around.
Yeah, but maybe
that's a key ring.
Yeah, on a key ring.
Yeah,
on a key ring. If you unironically wore a utility belt at all times with your multi-tool, your flick knife,
like an ass,
your compass. I'm like,
Holmes North, come on.
I just like
this way.
I'm just going to say, you're not in the army.
Yeah,
I appreciate being prepared. Maybe in the event of the collapse of society, we all know it's nearly upon us.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
In fact, I might go out and buy a utility belt.
I love a utility belt as much as the next guy. I want to be Batman. I want to be G.I. Joe. You're not.
The thing is, it's more likely to happen to Batman than it is to you.
Yes,
frankly.
Yeah, this
I appreciate why Batman would need one.
I know. This is my thinking. I'm like, because we watch Lucy and I, for example, we follow a few things online, and we watch a few people and who do entertaining stuff online, and we follow their output and their blogs and the like. And I started to notice it, and it started to bother me after a while, where I noticed that a couple of people it's like, oh, I'm thirsty. Do I pour myself a glass of water? No, it's okay. I've got my army surplus weird little metal bottle with like a weird kind of reverse cap, so I kind of drink it upside down. And for some reason, it just kind of really... I'm just like, just get a glass!
See, the way I thought you were going when you started this...
diatribe.
Whatever it is, was that you dislike people who were show-offy about fairly mundane things.
But I think that is it, to some extent. Because it's like...
It's like, I got the best, so...
That's the thing. It's like... Great, we all get thirsty. You know, I personally, I drink a ton of water.
Yeah, you got it.
I pester other people.
Good for your skin.
My housemates would attest that John is always going, drink more, get more water in it. It's good.
You're like that girl from Signs.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so when the aliens
she put the water everywhere, didn't she? And then the aliens came.
Yeah, when the aliens come.
And then they were able to baseball bat all the water onto the aliens. All the spoilers.
Oh.
Oh, no. All the spoilers.
I hope M. Night Shyamalan's
Shyamalan.
I think, but it is, because it's not just, oh, look, I brought a bottle from home. It's, oh, look, I'm super ready.
Wow.
For any... And also...
I would admire someone who's not ready and is able to be resourceful enough.
Yeah.
Not to have to be ready for everything.
There's being prepared, and then there's dressing like a doomsday prepper. Because...
That said...
Yeah.
And I'm going to disagree with you to an extent here. And I've been moaning about this all week, as Liz will tell you. This country, the UK, is shit.
Here we go.
With any kind of weather.
Yes.
If there's any weather above 12 degrees, and below 12 degrees, the whole country falls apart. There's too much rain. There's too much snow. Oh, it's too sunny. Just be prepared for these things. There's a level of preparedness you should be, or the country should be, or society should be. There is an over the top, I agree with you, on a personal level, but this country in which we sit, the UK, is so shit when it comes to any kind of, inverted commas, extreme weather. And it's been bothering me for a long time.
I assume by bringing that up that you are referring to the recent heatwave.
Exactly that. Exactly that. I mean, I've got a hate here from Sim.
Oh, that's an odd coincidence.
Isn't that an odd coincidence? It says, I hate hot weather. Oh my good God. There I said it, and I don't give a monkey's toss rag. Good for you. Bring back the cold. Where's the picture in Frozen when you actually need her? There you go. He also says, by the way, feel free to call me Sim on the show, which I just did.
Thank you, Sim.
After all, we've known each other for many, many years at this point, and pseudonyms seem a little too formal.
I think it's because I apologised on a previous episode because it occurred to me that I was one of the few people who still referred to him as Sim, when to his many colleagues, he is Simon.
Yes.
So thank you, Sim. But you are right. I'm well aware that I complained in a previous episode about the heat, and that complaint still stands.
Sure.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh, no.
Not enjoying it, but I feel I'm becoming acclimatised.
You're going to have to be,
Yeah,
to be honest.
I feel this is our life now.
Thing is, it's 22 degrees tomorrow, and I keep saying, oh, that's cool, isn't it?
It's going to be
outrageous.
outrageous.
It's going to cool down to 22 tomorrow.
I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
No, I'm going to be like, it's always a bit cold.
It's going to
might
rain.
might have to wear like a longer sleeve t-shirt.
It's going to rain on Sunday.
I've forgotten what it's like to wear trousers, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I wore trousers.
Truthfully, because it's like in the UK where we.
I'm wearing shorts, by the way.
Yeah, no,
I am wearing something.
I'm not wearing anything.
Yeah,
we're in the UK.
we are.
Just in case we have any international listeners, I have to assume they exist.
They must be out there.
We this week they've been going like, the heat wave. The heat wave is coming. The heat wave, like the heat wave is coming, and I'm like, well, if this is the heat wave, what's been happening the last 2 months?
Yeah,
because it's been incredible. And honestly, that yesterday was it not like the hottest day of the year or something?
in certain places.
In certain places.
It depends where you are. Cheltenham previously, where we are now,
Yeah.
was the hottest recorded temperature in the UK. I don't think it is anymore, but certainly for years, Cheltenham on a certain day in 1992, I think,
Really?
was the hottest recorded temperature
Ever in the UK.
the UK.
Wow, jeez. I mean, that's kind of mad.
So there you go.
It's weird that Glasgow was super hot.
Mm.
So you think of all the places
I
in
think
the UK.
I think of Glasgow as being permanently grey.
Yeah. Oh, it was still grey.
Oh yeah, it was just hot.
It was a grey heat.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It was really muggy.
But it's like this week where, everyone's like, the heat is going to break record levels. It's going to
But it will now. It will. Global warming, it's coming.
You do.
Bear in mind,
Yeah.
4 months ago, it was thick snow in this country.
Yeah.
Fairly thick, anyway.
It's the thing that's really hard to
Not
get.
compared to Canada.
It's the thing that's really hard to get across to people because when you get like heavy snow, everyone goes like, well, I think it just proves that global warming isn't happening. It's like, well, no, what it means is everything gets more extreme. So it means like, the summers get hotter, the winters get colder.
But and Donald Trump tweeted something to that effect, and
we
we won't go too far into all that. But he knows that's bollocks. He just thinks, and he's probably right, that the people who follow him will believe that.
Yeah.
That, I thought it was global warming. Look at all this cold weather. Oh, fuck off.
It is.
You cretin.
It is kind of astonishing.
And he knows that's bollocks. He just knows that people are that thick that they'll believe that.
I could do a whole series about whether he believes what he says or he's just an idiot. I don't know.
But any sensible person knows global warming is basically extending the spectrum of weather.
And I think that's the thing. If there's any good to come from it, and it is a little, if I must admit, it's a little scary. Because as a person who's never really enjoyed summer anyway, on account of the hay fever.
Oh, sure. But it's too hot for hay fever.
That's the mad thing.
Isn't it killing all the pollen?
Yeah. I had a good start of summer, 2 very bad weeks of hay fever, and then it stopped. It's like, as it kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter, I think the pollen just caught fire. Just kind of stopped.
Everything's brown.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing.
It's crazy. I think if it weren't for the fact that it's just so damn hot and uncomfortable, this would have been quite a good summer for me.
I feel okay with the weather now. As you say, I've sort of got acclimatised to it.
It's like Stockholm
At
syndrome.
night, it's a pain, but I sleep.
Yeah,
I can sleep. It's fine.
I think that's the odd thing. Like, I haven't been sleeping very well, and now I feel like I'm starting to
get better with it.
Yeah, like, and it makes me wonder, like, in a week's time, if it finally breaks and it drops by 10 degrees.
Well, it's going to.
Yeah.
Give or take.
But will I suddenly be like, as you say, like freezing? Will I suddenly be like, what's happened? Like, I've lost the ability to...
Well, the good thing for me is because we have to take the dog out either at 6 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. So if it gets to 20, we'll be able to sort of take her out a bit more freely.
Yeah.
Which will be good.
It does worry me. I'm like,
this is it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
It is. Eventually, we might not see it, but I think eventually it will get worse.
Because
So maybe we need to be prepared.
Yeah, maybe we all need to start carrying utility belts and knives.
Yeah.
I I feel like for me, like the ideal. I used to love like September weather. You get like sunny but windy.
I like a sunny breeze.
Give me a breeze.
I like a sunny
That's
breeze.
what I want. It's like yesterday. It's like they kept saying like.
I don't like getting wet or sweating like a bastard. It's really where I'm getting to.
I think what we're both saying is moisture.
Moisture's our enemy.
Yeah, give me a dry heat.
Give me one of those dry heats.
That said, I did step outside yesterday.
And I burn as well, so not too hot.
Oh yeah, you burn like no one's business.
I've got quite a good tan at the moment.
Yeah, even me. I was looking at because obviously I've been cycling to and from work, and I looked at my arms yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, I'm starting to look like a leather purse.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, I'm not that far, but for me, this is pretty good.
So Rev, has anything been happening in local news?
Why, thank you for asking, John. Yes, there has, and I shall give it you. This week's local news roundup comes from Sheffield.
Sheffield? That's not
Sheffield.
That's not local.
In the north.
Oh my.
And I'll read you an excerpt from the article.
Please do. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh, I hope I do.
Okay.
This better be good.
Topiarist?
Topiarist.
Topiarist,
yeah.
Says he is having to make regular repairs to his hedge due to drunk people pretending to have sex with it.
Okay, so
Keith Tisson has maintained his privet lady at his Sheffield home since 2000, but is often woken up in the night by distracted passers-by. Now, I should say at this point, his hedge looks like a woman laying down fairly alluringly, as I'm now showing to John.
Yeah, I can attest.
And people apparently keep trying to have sex with it.
So I've got a question.
They're climbing on top of her and pulling her legs apart. You know, it's disgusting, he said.
Well,
Mr. Tisson has considered putting up a sign or an alarm to curb the behaviour.
The mind boggle. I mean, Sheffield, what's up? What's happening in Sheffield?
I mean, it's weird that it's in the news, but it's weirder that people are doing it.
It's weird that this is a conversation we're having as
People
two adults.
Don't have sex with hedges, no matter how they are shaped.
Yeah.
Please stop. People of Sheffield.
But if you...
I like Sheffield, actually.
I've never been to Sheffield.
It's good. No, it's actually surprisingly good.
The thing is, right, that I'm no topiarist expert.
No?
Okay. I've
yeah.
never sculpted a hedge.
Sure.
But you just showed me a picture of what is, I would say, a semi-impressive hedge.
Yeah.
It does look like a woman.
You wouldn't imagine he's been doing it for a number of years.
No. It's not like the...
It's an amateur attempt.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's not the most sophisticated interpretation
that's
of
true.
A woman in hedge form. Therefore, if you are so perpetually horny that the merest suggestion...
I mean, we must assume that...
well, let's make a few assumptions
that these are students hoping to get a good photo opportunity for Bebo or whatever it is the children use these days.
That's perhaps the most...
MySpace.
That is perhaps the most charitable interpretation.
Yes.
That somebody...
Otherwise, it's just a bunch of perverts.
Okay, well, the options are you're doing it because it's funny.
It is pretty funny.
And let's be honest.
To be fair, it's pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
Option 2. You're doing it because you think it looks like a woman. You think it might be a woman.
She is wearing pearls.
Oh.
The hedge is wearing pearls, I can confirm.
Actual pearls or are they flowers?
Well, I'm going to have another look.
Going to examine... Okay, so...
I'm going to examine this picture while you're
option
talking.
Option 2 is that you genuinely...
No, they are actual pearls.
Actual pearls. Okay, that's weird. You think this hedge is actually a woman. Option 3?
Sorry, I'm just reading more of these quotes.
Oh, please continue, yeah.
I don't want them to behave like that with my privet lady. She's too privet. Or private, you know? That's the quotes they've published.
The thing is, you brought this up. This is technically meant to be a hate, is it not? It was spun out of a hate, and yeah, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it.
It's spun out of a hate, but I'm now just... Local News Roundup is for everybody.
News. Yeah.
Local News Roundup is something from the weird to the annoying to the fantastic. It's something for everyone, John. I think that's what this is going to be as a feature. So if you have any local news stories, please like and subscribe, and comment on our Facebook page.
It's almost like a little palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Before we
laugh?
get to the loves. Well, that's local news, everyone.
Oh, it's over.
Oh, it's over.
No.
Play the music. Or don't. I don't know if the music comes in
I
afterwards.
can't remember if we have an
Doesn't,
outro.
it's not
It doesn't
important.
matter.
It's not important. It's
Come on,
not
what have you
important.
got?
For my love,
Hmm.
well, I'm gonna sort of surprise you to an extent, I think, John. And by surprise you, I mean I probably won't be surprising you.
Okay.
I enjoy very much bargain basement alcohol. Bargain basement, as in, and I'll give you an example.
Okay, please.
Bière d'Or,
Beer door.
the Bière d'Or
Oh.
challenge.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
I've come.
Thing is, Bière d'Or
yes.
is horrible.
Okay.
Or is it? Or is it? Or is it? It's
yeah.
cheap. It's
Yes.
£4 for a crate of 12 stubby bottles of
Stubbies,
Bière d'Or.
Now, Eurovision
Yeah,
brought
this is where we're leading with this.
Eurovision brought Bière d'Or back into my life.
And we're happy about it.
And we're so much happier for it. Nick and I genuinely had a conversation in the aftermath of Eurovision. After you'd left, after we tidied up all the
that's
streamers,
nice, isn't it?
confetti, and
I
everything.
leave and everyone has a conversation.
It was the following day, or the following Monday. I just got back from training, and I was like, you know what? I really want a beer. We had some leftover beer.
There you go.
Bière d'Or, which
I mean, we failed at the Bière d'Or challenge, let's be honest.
To be fair, we weren't really committing.
No,
to
we were
it.
too busy watching Eurovision.
I reckon I could do it.
What exactly is the Bière d'Or challenge?
Well, here's the thing.
Is it a crate of Bière
It used to
d'Ors?
be a crate of beer.
I could
d'Or.
manage that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could manage
I
that
feel
quite
the crate's
easily now.
smaller than they used to be.
Well, it's 24, traditionally, a crate. Bottles.
I feel it's like 12 now.
Oh, yeah, the crate is certainly 12, yeah.
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure I could do 24.
because they're only
If I pour them into a glass,
they're only scubbies.
yeah, it'd be
And also, they are like
two's a pint, so that's 12 points.
they are like 2%.
Yeah, they're not very strong, are they?
I feel that's the thing because, like, I'm on a real like lager kick at the moment. When I was younger, I really got into ales.
I remember.
The thicker, the better.
We used to come around your house every Friday.
We drank a lot.
And drank all your parents'
We-
beer.
We certainly did drink a lot of my parents' beer. Never repay that debt, but
They did have a cool beer fridge.
it was a very cool beer fridge.
It was just inviting us in, that beer fridge.
Oh, I think I will.
Yeah, oh, go on then.
Oh,
Yeah,
go on
oh,
then.
go-
Yeah, I'll have
oh,
a
you
beer.
surprised me.
But in recent years, I've been leaning back towards lager, and not like Carling, because that's
Carling's not lager. Carling's piss water.
it's barely a liquid. Like it's more
It's
of
the
a,
stuff they pick up off the street after everyone's been spitting.
Oh, it's for street scrapings.
Yeah.
But love a lager, and the cooler, ice cool the better. And maybe this plays.
Oh,
in-
you've got to have a cool lager. It's like the only place it's acceptable to have a room temperature lager is at a festival. Because you're just sort of like, okay, fine, I'll have to make do.
And even then, a lot of them have like charging.
But then-
charging chilling units. Now.
Yeah, but Glastonbury, it was funny, when I went to Glastonbury a few years ago, we'd always say, oh, let's treat ourselves, let's buy a pint. A cold pint, that was a treat. Otherwise it was just drinking this warm
God,
cans
yeah.
of Foster's and things.
Thing is, like, at a push, like my days of going to, shitty student kind of bars and clubs.
Oh
and-
no, I don't want to associate myself with those sort
But
of
you would
places
just
anymore.
drink, Foster's. You drink Carlsberg because it was a bit better than Carling.
I still drink Foster's at football sometimes.
I'll drink like what is it? I'm trying to think of like leading. What's the Beck's?
Oh
Beck's.
no, I don't like Beck's. I'll tell you why I don't like Beck's.
Why
Because
don't
it
you
tastes
like
like it's been burnt. It tastes like someone's burnt the hops. I always think it tastes like burning for some reason, Beck's.
The only times I seem to drink Beck's now are after comic conventions in London. It just seems to be the only beer. they have on tap,
I'd say, if anything, I like that less than Carling. Beck's.
you're getting a real rise in, I guess, kind of like classy lagers.
Well, you get some nice glasses now. I always think you
Yeah.
can judge a lager by the quality of the
Well,
glass.
it used to be the classiest lager I feel you could order was like Stella. Like
I don't like Stella either.
It's
Stella's got
gassy,
that
yeah.
reputation now.
yeah,
Wife beater.
yeah, but Stella.
I'd never really drunk Stella.
But weird thing is, like, I remember.
Heineken's good.
I think probably like the first beer I ever tasted.
Mm,
When I was a young lad.
sure.
When my dad used to have a bowl, maybe in the evening or with lunch, and he let me have a little sip,
Sure.
and I think it was stellar. And to this day,
Yeah.
like my kind of like, I'm not saying, frankly, I don't drink it, but I kind of that frothy, gassy kind of, because it is quite gassy.
Yeah.
Stella.
Yeah.
That's like what I think of now. It's almost like I got ingrained in
That's
my brain.
maybe a default lager.
Yeah.
Stella. My favourite 2 lagers, if I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Amstel, if we're talking commercial lagers.
Yeah.
Amstel and Heineken.
Interesting. I don't really drink Heineken.
Heineken's beautiful.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I
Heineken's great.
really love Asahi,
Mm.
Japanese one.
Mhm.
And right now we're drinking a Tiger,
Mhm.
which again isn't the classiest beer in the world. But that's the thing about this is another...
It's not the least classy either, is it?
No, it's not. You know, it's not like artisanal or anything. Artisanal. But artisanal.
Artisanal.
But it's a fact, it's how cold it gets. And to bring it back to Beer D'Or for a minute, there's something bizarre about Beer D'Or. I swear I've never known a beer to get as cold as Beer D'Or does after a day in the fridge.
It's surprisingly good. That's the thing about it.
Yeah.
And that sort of applies to cheap booze generally.
And it's almost...
As long as it's at a good temperature.
Because I know America is quite big on like light beers.
I'll tell you what I miss, John.
What do you miss?
I'll tell you what I miss.
I know.
Kokanee.
Kokanee Gold.
It's a Canadian beer, but my God, I miss it. I'll tell you something now, because
I would kill.
No, I will kill you right now. No, because your birthday's coming up, I
Yes.
have been trying to get a case of Kokanee shipped over, and it's fucking impossible. You would not believe the amount of people I've asked.
I have to say how genuinely touched I am.
Well,
for
I
the
failed,
effort.
so that's why I'm telling you.
but thank you nonetheless. It's very
Well, I was going to have half of it.
well, of course.
Create a 24 Kokanee. You and me sit down.
Oh my life! I've got to say,
I miss Kokanee.
I do miss it. I've got to say, like Canada, the beer was so good,
Canadian beer has a bad reputation, internationally.
which is weird.
But Kokanee, I yearn for Kokanee.
There was Molson Canadian.
Molson Canadian.
Which wasn't
Rickard's
good.
Red.
Now here's the thing. Molson, I can understand why maybe Canada has a bad reputation for beer, because Molson's Canadian was like the Carling
Yeah.
of Canada. It was pretty just tasteless,
Bland.
and pale. Rickard's Red was a revelation.
Yeah.
Like the red beers of Canada were amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I feel that's what like the UK is getting into now. Because you know we've got like all these hipster bars in Cheltenham now, which I kind of love, and
There's
have issues
one
with.
particular hipster bar, and I think you know the one I mean, in Cheltenham, that I hate.
oh, that was awful.
I hate that bar.
I don't care what yeast.
Thankfully, I've got no shortage of options in Cheltenham, but I do not like that bar.
yeah, no, I've never gone back.
No.
But the bottle of sauce,
Lovely bar.
lovely bar, I love it a lot. Bit hipstery, I really like it.
Not too hipstery, though.
It's the right level of hipstery where it's
It's like you
kind
can
of
take your
trendy.
dog there.
It went from being a really old, scary kind of.
It was a proper locals pub for a
Never
long
saw
time.
anyone go in or out.
No.
There were
Well,
always
someone
people
I
in.
know said he had his last drink there as a single man when he got married, and when it was a shithole.
The way you said that, when you said like his last
His last
drink, I was
drink,
like,
yeah.
oh god, they killed him.
Coming
you
to
know?
you from beyond the grave.
Yeah, but
But I never went in there before it became what it is now.
I feel
Because
like
you wouldn't.
we're seeing now, and maybe and frankly, beers are getting more expensive, the prices are going up, but I guess we've come a long way from like when we started drinking, when we were like,
Well,
teens.
we used to go to the Gloucester Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
And
Which
we were so delighted to have been allowed into the Gloucester Weatherspoons.
Oh yeah, because they had really stringent. Like you were quite clearly.
But it was the only place we could get in, and there was one.
Hello, sir. I'd like
Yeah.
a pint, please.
Hello there. Can I have a pint of beer?
Are you 12, son? Yes. Well, good news.
Good news.
You're
We now
legal.
serve under 12s.
Yeah.
There was one on May Hill, which is a hill, that we used to go to. That was the only probably 2 pubs we could get served underage. Where we went anyway.
But it used to be like,
We were 17 then.
because we're old men and times have changed,
Sure.
but for a tenner, you could drink
Oh,
all
yeah.
night. You could drink like a king.
There's
all
a
night.
very infamous photo in our little social group of a table full of Reefs, if you remember Reefs, the original Alco Pop,
Yeah.
which were 90p a bottle in
outrageous.
in Wetherspoons in Gloucester.
It used to be £1.20 for a pint.
Oh, in the Union, it was... Oh, my God.
It's glorious.
Ember Lounge, Stoke. It used to be, I'll have a pint of Strongbow and Black, please. That'll be £1.30. Too right it will. I'll have another. Go on, pour me another.
There's a £2 subsidy on every pint. Here you go, sir.
Yeah. Here's 70p for you again.
At Leicester, which is where I went to uni, in the SU, big rambling building, it was mad. We had a bar called the Redfern, and every Sunday used to be the stock exchange.
Oh yes.
So you'd go in, and they had an interactive display on the board, and they had every drink listed. And the more you ordered of a drink, the price went down.
Oh, it went down. Okay.
Yeah. So everyone's ordering gin and tonics. Gin and tonics get cheaper as the night goes on.
Yeah.
And then every now and then there'd
switch
be
it
a
up.
stock market crash.
Gotcha.
And the entire screen would go like that. And oh my God, it's 5 pence
and
for a whiskey sour.
Yeah,
and
quick,
everyone would, and it was a good way to get drunk. And for £10, you sorted.
Yeah, I mean, there's bars we used to go to. I say it's a bar. It was a club called the Underground. It's shut down now. It was a hall with a bar at the end of it.
Yeah.
But it was great, and it had a load of speakers and whatever. It was, hello, can I have a vodka Coke or gin and lemonade or whatever?
Yeah. Those are odd combinations.
Whatever it was, yeah. Gin and lemonade's lovely. And I'll have one of those, please, for £1, it would be. And they were like, would you like a double? It'll be £1.50. Yes, I would, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yes,
Throw
I would.
it in.
I literally can't think of a reason why I wouldn't.
Well, the reason, I guess... God, it's good to talk about beer.
Yeah. See? You were doubtful when I said cheap beer.
No, you're right.
Cheap booze.
Thing is, of course,
I'll be honest with you, John. I just made that up. I didn't have that prepared.
It's almost as though you didn't have any love.
I didn't have any love in my heart for things I haven't mentioned already. I mean, I love my dog, but I think I've mentioned that already.
It is worrying, isn't it? Where you're like, oh God, like I'm not unhappy, but I can't think.
I'm perfectly content at the moment in my life in general. Which isn't good for this show, really.
No, it's terrible airtime. I mean, like, Nick's left us and it's all falling apart.
Yeah, I'd say this has been a very solid episode. And we haven't even done your love yet.
No, we'll tell you what.
Well, I'll do a user love and then we'll get to yours.
Get the community involved.
I've got one here from Andrew, who says, I'm in love with the KFC I had after my 20-mile walk. Good for you, Andrew.
That's not a walk. That's a
hike,
That's
I'd
an
say.
undertaking, Andrew.
He said he had blisters. He said he burned, though, 1,500 calories and then consumed 900 calories of fried chicken goodness. So he loves KFC.
And wait, so 1,000 burnt.
1,500 burnt.
And how much taken in?
900.
Oh, that's great.
So that's credit of 600 calories.
Yeah, Andrew, you could go back for another if you wanted.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. Although I don't really like KFC. Where do you stand on the takeaways?
I have...
Let's say the big three.
Oh, God, here we go.
McDonald's...
Okay,
Burger King, KFC are the big three.
Okay, the big three.
Where do you, gold, silver, bronze.
The last... well, I'm gonna be radical. For all bronzes. Like, there's no...
Very good, that's fine.
The last McDonald's...
But if you had to rate them 1, 2, 3, don't be a dick.
Third, Mackie D's.
As in okay, yeah, okay.
As in, I've not had a McDonald's since 2005.
Very good.
Our mutual friend Richard Holton and I were job hunting. Why do I remember this? We were job hunting. Then we went and had a Mackie D's, and we both felt really ill.
Yeah.
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm done. I'm not touching this again. Second, silver, I'd say Burger King. I had a Burger King after the Thought Bubble Comic Convention in 2011. We were trying to come home on the Sunday.
I think it speaks volumes that you remember the last time you had one.
This is weird, isn't it? Absolutely knackered, delirious with hunger. We stop on a motorway services to have a Burger King. I go, oh God, I'll just have like that chicken. It's like a chicken sandwich kind of thing.
Don't have chicken from Burger King.
Half was frozen, half was
Don't have chicken from
microwave.
Burger King. That's a nightmare.
It was disgusting. Like, it was inedible, I would say. Never had it since. And I'd say KFC is probably at the top, which is kind of depressing.
By default.
But I've not had KFC in probably like a decade. But we used to get it after a night out, you and I in Gloucester.
We did.
The least offensive, I would say.
Would you like my rating?
Yes, please.
Okay. Third, KFC.
Oh!
And I'll tell you why.
Oh!
Because you're smelling it for days afterwards. Days.
Not to cut...
That secret blend of 11 herbs and spices.
Not to cut into... One of those is Febreze.
Yeah.
Not to cut into your list.
Sure.
But I once was requested to pick up some KFC. And I did.
I know this story.
And I smelt it in my car for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It stinks.
Yeah.
It stinks. Second, McDonald's. Floppy chips. Floppy chips. And first, Burger King. Because Burger King I still have now and then when I'm hammered at football. And that's because there's nothing else
now
to pick from.
It's almost a shame that Nick isn't here. Well, it is a shame that Nick isn't here.
Sure.
Because we love
whatever
him.
you say.
It's almost a shame that Nick isn't here because he has strong opinions. And I think...
Burger King also have the best chips.
I was going to say, I think that's what he would bring to the table.
They do
right
have the
now.
best chips.
I swear he
Fact.
said sometimes that their chips are
The
kind
chips
of
are actually very
remarkable.
nice.
Yeah.
But I only have it when I'm drunk. Bear in mind, I go to football. I arrive in London at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Game's at 3. So that's 5 hours solid drinking
Wow.
before the game.
Okay, there
Watch
we
the
go.
game.
Yeah.
I get an hour break. I have a pint at half time. And then I have maybe 3-4 hours drinking after the game.
Okay.
Then and only then will I have a Burger King. So that's 10 hours drinking.
There's a certain appeal to it.
And when you're drunk, it doesn't matter, frankly. Bacon double cheese when you're drunk is all right.
These are... it's saying something. I think like the last time I had KFC, I was drunk. And there is an appeal to... Because I think out of all of them, you know, bit of fried chicken, how do you go wrong, really? Aside from the smell and the fact that your anus will hate you in the morning.
It stinks, and anyone can make chicken. You can make your own nuggets now.
I
I've
make
made
those.
them. I've copied your recipe and done them to a degree of success. Well, no, they were fine. They're edible.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. I'm sticking with my convictions on that one.
Yeah.
You got a love?
I do have a love.
Do you?
I do.
You sure?
Had to think for a minute. My love is DIY.
Oh no. I mean, you picked the wrong guy to say this to.
Well, true. At the same time, you do know that I once drilled into a gas pipe
Yes, I'm aware
and
of
almost
that.
had a heart attack.
Yeah.
in the
Wow.
process.
You always gassed the house.
I
Had
did.
to stand there with your thumb over the hole.
I certainly did. And
call the landlord.
It occurred to me that at the time, as I lived in a terrace, that I had killed not just myself, but the family who lived next door and their young child.
The unsuspecting family next
and
door.
their young child who I could hear crying through the wall. But no, I love DIY because Lucy and I are in the process of renovating our very first house. Like it's
very exciting
the
times.
first house we've ever owned, and so we're spending, when we're not recording podcasts, we're spending most of our free hours there sanding and filling. And I say this as someone who in this very podcast had ill words to say of people who wore
Adults.
utility belts or
I see, yes.
carried tools with them.
No, but there's a time and a place. Is the point you were making?
There's a time and a place. My point is, I have a power sander, and I love it more than I can love a human baby.
I bet when you're holding that power sandwich on, you feel like more of a man than you ever have.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It helps that like I don't wear any trousers.
Sure. Oh, sure. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to constrain the massive erection I have.
Power sander's more of a nickname, really.
Yeah. So I've started to become quite obsessed with getting flat walls.
Oh, that's a dangerous thing.
Surfaces. So, for example,
How flat? Are you like putting the measuring doodah on it, bubble on everything?
not quite, but I've been basically our kitchen has been rebuilt. As
Yes.
in, we had a wall.
Well, I've not seen your new house yet.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't had a
incredibly,
chance to come.
But we had a
around yet.
kitchen. We had a wall knocked down between the kitchen and the dining room. We've had a kitchen fitted. So basically, I've been going around with polyfiller and a power sander, and I've been trying to get every surface utterly flat. Because if there's one thing the previous owners of our house loved, it's putting hooks and screws in the wall. Like every surface looks like it's been shot with like buckshot.
A nail gun.
Yeah. So we had
A dartboard.
So in our kitchen we have like a little we're calling it a pantry.
Sure.
Really, it's a cupboard.
Okay.
Like
Is
it's
it
like
a walk-in cupboard?
Like a little walk-in cupboard.
I have something not too dissimilar.
Kind of. Yeah. Kind of.
I call it the larder.
Yeah,
that helps
we're
you.
going to stick with pantry.
Oh, that's fine.
It's kind of the dimensions of a phone booth.
Sure.
If you can imagine.
Okay, gotcha.
And it has a window in it.
Oh.
So it's very
To
light.
where? The outside?
To the outside.
Oh, I understand.
So it's very light and airy.
Mm.
But I've been spending probably more time than is healthy in that little cubicle going over the walls.
It's funny the things when you move into a house you love.
Yeah.
So when I found that larder, when I moved in, I was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. Now I just chuck stuff in it.
Yeah, you never look at it.
It's a mess in there.
Well, the idea is we're gonna put some shelving in there.
Nice.
Maybe like a little...
Make it your spice cupboard.
There you go. You see...
Condiment cupboard.
Kick it up a notch for the Spice Weasel. We're going to put like a little... maybe even like a little drawer unit in there.
Yeah, you should. Sounds good.
But there were like a ton of like... chunks of like masonry missing, like, you know.
So that's what I mean. People mistreat that room more than any other.
So I've got through like 4 tubs of polyfiller. I've been going through, I've been layering it, I've been sanding it, I've been giving it so much TLC. And Lucy's like, why? Why are you worrying so much?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it, because we're just going to cover it in shelves. No one's going to look at it. But
I'll know.
I'll know.
Yeah.
You know, so... But it's kind of great, because it's like now, as an adult, you know, hashtag adult.
Hashtag adulting.
I now own...
I know someone who doesn't like that.
I own a power sander.
Yeah.
I own a jigsaw.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
Brum brum. I cut wood.
Well, sure, but what into what?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I had a crazy plan where, because the walls in our weird little pantry area were so kind of torn
You cut
up,
your own shelves.
No, I was going to board the walls.
Oh.
So I bought a load of hardwood sheets, and I was going to drill into the wall, put roll plugs in, and I was going to screw these panels into the walls. Didn't work out.
I mean, that sounds ambitious, to be honest.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it should have been doable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to imagine how you would do that. I suppose by putting like a hook within the wood and hooking a screw onto it.
No, what I did was, because the hardwood boards are not very thick, very like
Okay.
4 or so millimeters.
Oh, forget that then.
Yeah, I would just kind of like, I would drill through with a thin drill, make a little mark, drill in, make a deeper hole, put a roll plug in. The problem was, and this came up when we were having the house rewired, apparently the walls are made of diamond.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently like the hardest substance known to man. I was drilling, and the drill snapped in half. Yeah. It was astonishing.
I've had something not too dissimilar happen to me not that long ago. As you know, John, I own a Labrador.
You do.
A young Labrador girl called Daisy.
A young lab.
What we discovered quite quickly was that she liked grabbing the coats off the existing coat hook rack.
Oh, I see.
In the hall. We'd come home and there were coats on the floor, and we thought, that can't go on.
No.
That can't go on.
No, it's not.
We're going to move this into the lounge.
Okay.
So there's a space behind the door in the lounge. Perfect. We'll put it in there. So it took us about an hour to work out how to take this existing hook off the wall.
Right.
And it turned out you had to unscrew one of the hooks from the wooden bit, and then behind the wooden bit there was a screw.
Okay.
You'd think I'd remember that having installed the hook myself.
well, quite. Yeah.
But I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
And then I went to drill holes in the space in the lounge. Now, I'm not very good at drilling. And by the end of this endeavour, the hole for one of the screws was about the diameter about an inch, roughly, because I kept going. My hand was just swirling with the drill. Right, okay. And then I tried. I thought, well, that's fine. We could deal with that.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, let's go left slightly, and I'll drill the other hole.
Okay. Yeah.
So I started drilling into the wall, hit metal immediately. Instantly hit metal. I was like,
oh no,
we'll just fill it in, shall we? So within an hour, I drilled 2 shit holes and just filled them in, and then we just bought one that sort of hooked over the door. I was like, I'm not going to do that again. Let's just get something that hooks over the door.
It's the thing for me. It's like I was in this cubicle.
That's indicative of my DIY skills, by the way.
But you say that, but like when I drilled into a gas pipe,
What were you trying to do?
I was trying to hang a picture
In the kitchen?
in the kitchen.
That's mental. Nobody hangs pictures in the kitchen.
I wanted to hang a picture in the kitchen. The walls were very hard, and the nails wouldn't go in. So I thought,
Probably a reason for that.
I have a power drill. I will.
I mean, it sounds to me like you momentarily lost your mind.
I
there,
said I
John.
will drill a small hole,
Fuck's sake.
just a small hole, and I will put a little screw into the wall, and I'll hang the painting off that. Problem is, I got about maybe 0.5 centimetre into the wall, and then started experiencing a bit of resistance. Well, no, not quite yet.
Not yet.
And of course, because my drill was hitting metal, which I didn't realise at the time. So many people would go, oh, this is a bad idea, I'm going to stop. But myself, an intellectual, was like, no, what I need is a masonry drill, which I went and got.
It's incredible the amount of stupid things that supposedly smart people do.
I know,
it? How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
I've done idiotic things more times than I'm comfortable with. And I got a stronger drill and started drilling. And no joy. So I leant really hard onto the drill. And
I put my full body weight behind the drill.
And a thunk.
Mental.
Oh my god, I've never come so close to a heart attack, I think.
Oh my god.
I was convinced I'd kill myself.
I'd probably have just put the stove on, boiled up some water.
I think that's probably wise.
Yeah.
Have a cigarette to calm your nerves. But I guess to do the whole a DIY thing, and why it has been satisfying is we have a ton of work still to do on the house. Like it's still mostly a building site.
It'll be worth it.
But yeah, well, I think
It'll be worth
I think
it.
that's it. And the great thing about the sanding and filling, which is mostly what I'm doing at the moment, is that you get like an instant gratification.
That's true. That's true.
It's the idea that like I'm looking at a wall and it's got a hole in it, or it's got like a great big scratch across it, and it's the idea that like with maybe, I don't know, like 20 minutes, half an hour, kind of like sweat and toil,
Yeah.
and I'm dirty,
You've solved that problem.
and I'm tired. It looks great, and when we paint it,
There you go.
it's gonna be amazing. No
Well,
one's gonna know.
the only successful DIY job I've done recently, as you'll be aware, John, I own a Labrador.
You do.
I may have mentioned it.
It may
I may have
it
mentioned
might have
it.
come up. Yeah.
She, as well as taking coats off the coat rack, enjoys eating the post. So
You got a bad egg there,
I
right?
know, right? So we have masking taped up the letterbox
Okay.
and installed an outdoor letterbox,
I've seen it,
which
actually.
we installed ourselves,
Very impressive.
and it's still up there, still working. And the postman now knows where to put the post
Bravo.
without the dog eating it.
Bravo.
I mean, we just put it on the shelf and she eats it anyway. But apart from that, it's very good.
We have like a weird little porch, as in
Like like French doors
into
into a little area.
It's not, as in like it's not like a proper porch. We have like it's maybe the size of the 2-person sofa I'm currently sitting on. Like it's like, why do we even have this space? It doesn't really add anything. But we are debating getting like a little postal box put in. So say we ever get anything bigger delivered. Like
Yeah.
just drop it in the
Well,
box.
yeah, you should. But you can give instructions to postmen now that leave in porch
Yeah.
on Amazon things. Anyway.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's. But
I feel like this is a conversation we could have had at the pub.
No, that's probably true. But in terms of like actual like housework and DIY and the kind of instant gratification, I guess just in summary, it's very nice to do something with your hands, because otherwise I spend a lot of time at a computer. It's nice to do something with your hands. It's nice to get instant gratification, and it's oddly addictive. Like I'm looking forward to the fact that tomorrow morning I'm going to go over,
Yeah. Do some
and
stuff.
just get dirty. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to be covered in crap at the end of it. It's like after our first session of really heavy kind of power sanding, we met like a replacement electrician who was coming in to do a couple of days' work, and he honestly thought I was grey off head. Like he honestly thought I was naturally had already gone grey because
Why?
the amount of dust in my hair.
What, you said sorry about the dust in my hair, and he was like, I thought that was your hair.
Well, I said that the day after.
Yeah.
Because it's incredible. Like, you know me, and you know the battles I've had with controlling my hair over the years.
Sure.
Honestly, and this is my beauty tip for anyone at home, if you've got wild and troublesome hair, get some plaster dust in it.
There you go.
You can do anything with it after that.
Be firm and rich.
Yeah, like you wouldn't believe.
There you go.
Get quiffs for days. Anyway.
It's worth it. Shall I give you one more love before we
come on, let's take
sign off?
Take us out on a love letter.
I've got one from Ned.
Ned
here, who says,
Good one.
otters. And that's it.
Like that.
No, he said, they are awesome. Part bear, part seal, part pig. No, all brilliant. He didn't say the pig bit. Discuss. I like otters. They're fine.
I love a good otter.
I'll tell you what I like. Platypus. Platypus is freaky as shit, man.
A platypus is a monotreme.
Okay.
Down in...
I don't know what that means.
Down in Australia land...
Oh, yes, the Australiaville.
You have basically the life forms that God forgot. So the weird alternate...
What is a platypus? Is it like a marsupial?
No, it's a monotreme.
Oh, I see, that's the actual...
Yeah. A marsupial is a... kind of like a mammal. Bit like a mammal.
But a marsupial is like a koala, a kangaroo...
A wallaby. Yeah, so it's kind of like when nature was testing all these weird...
Nature was taking the piss, basically.
Nature was going like, what are the ways that work when it comes to like rearing your young? So they tried a whole ton of things.
Sure.
And mammals kind of caught on.
They've done all right, mammals, haven't they?
So we've got like mammals, we've got birds, it's great. Tongue lizards, whatever. Down in Australia, because it was separated from the rest of the world, these old kind of like prototypes, these old kind of versions of mammals survived when they probably wouldn't have otherwise survived. So basically, the two big ones are marsupials and monotremes.
Okay.
And a marsupial, like when mammals reproduce, the female becomes pregnant. And the fetus develops inside the womb, and then when it's ready to give birth, it gives birth. With a marsupial, a fetus grows.
Yeah.
Then after a certain point, the fetus exits the female.
Yeah.
Crawls out of the womb.
Yeah.
Crawls along the exterior of the body. And crawls into the pouch.
Yeah, I was going to say pouch, yeah.
And then it develops in the pouch.
Gotcha.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Then a monotreme is, for lack of a better word, a mammal that lays eggs.
Right. What are some other monotremes?
Echidna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Echidnas and platypuses both lay eggs.
Thing is, I would consider a platypus part duck, part beaver, part otter.
Yeah.
Roughly.
It's kind of mad.
Otters are cool, in summary.
They're also, going back to platypuses, they are venomous.
Are they really?
They have a spike on their elbow, which is...
really?
Yeah.
What, do they attack things with it?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Things you learn. I love good otter.
Yeah. Oh, otters are cool. But what's the difference between an otter and a weasel?
They're different species.
Yeah, no, but otters and weasels look not totally dissimilar.
A
weasel's a rodent.
No, they're muskarigs.
Oh, for God's sake.
So they are all... I'm going to get this wrong. But when you break down... So basically, we have something called the taxonomic... Basically, we have...
I bet Ned's glad he put this one
Okay,
in.
no, I'm going to learn you. This will be a brief biology lesson. We have a process called taxonomy, which is a way of...
Taxidermy.
To some extent, yes, except they're still alive. Taxonomy is a way of charting the relatedness of organisms on the planet. So we have a little saying... which for me personally is, killing pillocks causes order from gross stupidity. So that is a little mnemonic for learning the taxonomic tree. So we have kingdom, phylum.
I don't like things where you have to learn one thing to learn another thing.
Okay, but it's like, basically, like if you were studying taxonomy, then it goes from very broad terms down to very specific terms. So you go kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.
Okay.
So species is the lowest level that we separate living
So
organisms.
it's a different type of mouse, for example.
Yeah, so basically the definition of species is something that can't breed with something else.
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
if you're a species,
gotcha.
you can only breed with your species.
Yeah.
So there are, well, probably over-exaggeration, billions of species, but there's only 5 kingdoms.
Oh.
So at the top of the tree, we basically have the 5 kingdoms, which
Yeah.
are animals, plants, fungus, buggeration. I'm trying to remember what they are.
We should have researched this.
That's
Prohibition.
Really that's really annoying. But basically, 2 forms of basically.
I believe you.
Monocellular.
Thousands wouldn't, but I believe you.
So animals. So if you're trying to go like, oh god, what is this weird alien life form? You start by going, which of the 5 is it? You go, oh, it's an animal. Then you go, well, what family is it in? What class is it in?
Okay.
So it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you finally go, oh, it's a rabbit.
Gotcha.
So
I mean, if you can't work that out just by looking at it, then you've probably got bigger problems.
So I want to say under the family Carnivora.
Yeah.
So that's the killing.
Eats meat.
Killing Pillix causes order from gross. So maybe no.
I hope you're happy, Ned. You've opened such a can of worms
So
here.
basically, you have like the class or the order, which is Carnivora, and then under that there are like 7 types.
Yeah, you're holding up 5 fingers, but that's fine.
7 types. Okay,
There you go.
so I can't remember all of them, but you think about like all the mammals in the world, which are kind of carnivorous. So canines,
Canine.
everything that is dog related.
Feline.
Feline, there, you're getting it. Hyenas.
Yeah.
Oddly enough,
Tine is a thing. All right. Okay.
Yeah, this is the weird thing. Hyenas are their own group.
That's funny.
They are
isn't it?
really weird, actually. There's a few others I can't remember, but there's a group or whatever called the muscarigs. And they're called the muscarigs because they generate like a musk, like a strong smell.
Like a skunk.
Yeah, now under the muscarigs you have ferrets, weasels, otters.
So they're not a million miles away from one another.
No, they're certainly not. No, they are related, but they are further away from each other than, say, like a rodent.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. So basically anything which is kind of long of body, it's like weasel, ferret, stoat,
Mustarig.
mink. A muscarid
Mustarid.
is what it's called.
Wonderful.
And they're often called that because they generate a smell to mark their territory.
Very good.
There you go.
we
So it's
are.
a little biology
This has been
lesson
the most
for you.
educational show we've ever done.
Yeah, it might well be.
To an
actually.
extent, anyway.
And I can only remember like half of the facts.
Well, we're going to
behind
go to
that.
the pub now.
Well, which is nice. So, thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you if you're still listening.
Incredibly. I mean, we crossed our quarter century now. We're into...
Have we really?
Yeah, we're episode like 26, I believe.
Wonderful.
It all fell apart after we hit episode 25.
Yeah.
I do apologise for not having published an episode in a while. It's a poor excuse, but...
Oh, no, we don't need an excuse. We do this for free, and we're busy. So if you're pissed off, then, just get over it.
What my colleague, the community manager, is trying to say is that we care deeply about our fan base.
Oh, yes, no. What I meant to say, according to my attorneys, is that I value all of your opinions, and thanks. Cheers, all the best.
Basically, sadly, due to events beyond our control, it came a little hard to get all 3 of us in a room.
Which is why Nick's not here.
Which is why Nick isn't here, because he's off doing other stuff. We can only...
He's got a life.
He has
He's got a life.
The man has a life. But we're going to just, come hell or high water, we're going to keep trying to get episodes out.
Well, I'll be on the next one, and then I'll be gone for a while.
Yeah, and then you're going to be disappearing.
I bet you're all gutted, aren't you? All you people listening.
So we will try very hard to get back to a regular publishing schedule. Thank you for bearing with us, and we're sorry for the inconvenience.
Not that sorry.
Rev, do you have any? How are you gonna take us home?
Well, in the absence of Nick, I thought we'd try a different side off.
Oh my!
So, just pretend you hate. Pretend you hate the thing that you love. Otherwise, it might go to hate or love, depending on which one you like.